next segment that we're going to discuss is kind of a continuation of a topic that we discussed on the last episode. On the last episode, we discussed when trash talk goes too far. Now we're kind of piggybacking off of that, and we would like to know, and the question we're asking is, would you rather your opponent say that he wants to kill you in the ring or slap you and spit at you in the press conference? So we'll open that up with Ned, the casual boxing fan. What's your answer to that? Would you rather your opponent say he wants to kill you in the ring or slap you and spit at you in the press conference?
It depends who my opponent is, you know? If I was going up against Mike Tyson, he's talking about he's going to sodomize me, I'd probably be scared shitless.
Oh, wait.
I'd be scared. I'd bring out the little girl in me.
Oh, man.
But if it's a common fight, if I'm prepared and he's talking, I'm confident enough, and he's talking all this nonsense saying he's going to kill me, and then he spits on, he has the nerve to spit on me or smack me in our press conference, in our way off, then it's going down, man. I would rather the fighter say he'll kill me, use his words, and the action to take action to demonstrate that he really wants to hurt me.
Bro, you just brought me in all over the place, and when you left me, I'm not sure I even know where you were going in the first place. All right, Trill, would you rather a fighter say that he's going to kill you in the ring, or would you rather a fighter slap you and spit at you in the press conference?
Listen. I stand for what I said last week. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't flip-flop. My word is bond. So go back and listen to what I said last week. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. You dig? Now listen, we can say whatever we want to say. Don't put your hands on me. And don't you spit on me.
Definitely.
Spit on me, we ain't boxing no more. You spit on me, I'm gonna kill you.
Where's the KG? It's going to be a
It's not
goddamn...
words anymore.
And where's the KG? It's going to be a goddamn bar fight.
These are words. And not only is that a despicable act, it's also assault. But this is what I was talking about also on how the roles are reversed and how only certain people can do certain things. This is what I was talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Poor Deontay Wilder. He has to do some of this buffoonery. He has to do some of this stuff so he can put butts in the seats. Like we was talking about, we know Deontay. We know how he came up. We know how he feels for his family, how he loves his daughter and his kids and his children. We know all that. But the casual fan doesn't know that. And we was talking about how certain people might look and see how that is. But nobody is talking about Paulie doing this. To me, this is way more despicable than telling somebody that you want to kill them in a ring. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is where we have to pick. We have to really sit down and put down some guidelines that everybody can. What's good for one person? What's good for this person? You can't say this because you that person. You can't say this because you this color. You can't do this because you color. But they can do this because of this. It's not fair. And we're going to keep the same energy that we kept to Deontay Wilder by just using words. And we should all be appalled. We should all be going crazy by what Paulie Malignaggi did. And trust me, everybody knows here that I respect Paulie Malignaggi, and I love him. I think he's one of the best commentators that they got. And I'm glad that they got a real boxer, somebody that actually put some gloves on and throw some punches in there doing the commentating. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sick and tired of hearing about commentators who have never ever got into a fight. I'm sick and tired.
You saying Al Bernstein?
I'm sick and tired of hearing from commentators who have never had a fight. So shout outs to Paulie Malignaggi for being my favorite boxing analyst. And but this right here, it was distasteful. And if we're gonna have that, talk about how horrible saying that he was going to kill a boxer, let's keep that same energy for another boxer who assaults another boxer by spitting on him. That's all I'm saying.
So, just to jump in, I have a few thoughts on this matter. And so, I already know some of the arguments will be made. One, Paulie is at a press conference for a bare-knuckle boxing fight. It isn't technically a boxing match. Another argument is going to be made that he may be trying to sell the fight, and this is a way to try to bring attention to the sport of bare-knuckle boxing. I'll address those points this way. One, Deontay Wilder was just trying to promote his fight with the statements he made. I stated last week, and I stand by it. I didn't like what he did, not necessarily because of what he said, but the impact it could have on the sport. And I don't like what Paulie did for the same reason, the impact. But I also don't like what he did because of the actions. Keep it to words. Keep it to words. Try to sell the fight. When you try to slap someone and you try to spit on a person, that is despicable. That's degrading. That's beyond a sport and entertainment. That's belittling. That's telling someone you're less than a human being. I mean, respect your opponent to the point where you're so alive where it doesn't need to be launched into their face. But that's just one thing. Another thing I want to address is the argument that this is bare knuckle boxing and that it's not boxing. Well, Paulie is still a part of boxing. And he's a part of boxing as someone who calls a fight. So, indirectly, he is an agent of the sport. And not only is he an agent of the sport, he's an agent of Showtime. You, Showtime, employ a man who tried to slap his opponent and spit on him. But you, the WBC, and people are appalled at words that came from Wilder's mouth. So let's hold this man accountable. Let's sit him down and have a discussion with him about his actions and how his actions are unacceptable. Let's not let him off the hook and let him off easy because he is just as much an agent for the sport of boxing as Deontay Wilder is. So how about we start holding people
Even more,
here?
I think he's even more of an ambassador for the sport of boxing. Like Deontay.
And why do you say that?
Just because him calling the fights. Not only, you only see Deontay Wilder when it's about to be a fight. You see Paulie at all the major fights. And we look forward to seeing Paulie's commentating at these fights. So I think that he's even more of a bigger ambassador for the sport of boxing than a Deontay Wilder.
You know what, I tend to agree.
And he's a two-time world champion.
He's no longer fighting, so he's in the role of someone who's supposed to assess a sport and who's supposed to be the best representation of what that sport is. When you give someone the job of calling the fights, you're saying this is a good ambassador of the sport, this is someone who used to participate in the sport, this is a role model type that you can aspire to be. One would have to ask themselves, if Bernard Hopkins or Roy Jones did the same thing that Paulie Malignaggi did for a bare-knuckle boxing event, would they still be employed? Truthfully, I don't know the answer to that, but one has to believe that if they were the ones who behaved this way, there would be some form of backlash. Yet I haven't heard anyone say anything, and no one's really tried to reprimand Paulie for his behavior, but it was despicable. And I am a Paulie Malignaggi fan.
Definitely. Like I said, up to this point, to me, Paulie Malignaggi has been stellar. He has showed heart. I remember when I first admired Paulie Malignaggi when he got his cheek broken by Miguel Cotto. He didn't quit. He showed grit. And he stuck in it. You know what I'm saying? Even with him, when he fought Danny Garcia, I thought after that fight it was so much class. These guys showed what the sport was about. You know what I'm saying? That was what the sport was about. That display of sportsmanship that Danny Garcia and Paulie Malignaggi showed that fight.
And I thought Paulie beat Broner.
And
And the way Broner was behaving, and the way Paulie took the L, I thought he was classy in that right too.
yeah.
be a guy calling fights for Showtime. You can put money on that.
Exactly.
And so if he wants to be Adrian Broner, he should get the Adrian Broner treatment. They won't even let Adrian Broner take the mic and say certain things on the mic anymore because he's that unpredictable. Paulie, they hand him the mic freely and say, speak.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just a little bit different. But I think we can all agree, and I think we all do agree, Paulie's actions were despicable, and it doesn't represent boxing well. And like Trill said, when people see Paulie, they don't see bare knuckle boxing, they see boxing. And that is the truth. None on that. Ned, thanks for filling in for G, man.
Ned, everybody good up
Ned,
there.
our cameraman. Hey, listen, when you tune in and you see G, Ned's behind the camera.
Yes.
You know, and sometimes he can't shut up. So if you hear him, whatever, that's that fool right there.
Good. Thank you for
All right.
checking in with